I don't know if you'll remember that a while back I posted a video in which I explained that the transit of Neptune in 2020 was going to turn really unfavorable for Donald Trump, especially as we got into the June-July period when it locks into a square to his moon and close enough to catch his sun as well. And I mentioned these topics as potential areas that could become a serious problem for him. And of course, this remains in play, there's no question about it. But what I forgot to mention is another area that is connected to Neptune, namely this one. Now, in astrology, you always want to identify the symbol and what it rules. Neptune, as the co-ruler of Pisces, is connected to religion, especially in its purest sense. Deep faith, deep compassion, love. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. Venus representing human love, and Neptune divine love or cosmic love, transcendent love. And ironically, in this case, because of the subject we are dealing with, the incident we're dealing with, Neptune is also connected by rulership to all things around film and photographs. As the story goes, Trump, still smarting from bad media he got over the last couple of days on account of his hiding in the bunker, gives a speech at the White House, an aggressive law and order speech, and then in concert with our Attorney General, William Barr, he cooks up a scheme whereby Barr arranges to scatter peaceful protesters with tear gas and rubber bullets. He simply ordered the police to do it so that Trump could make his way to a nearby church and hold up a Bible. Now, this certainly did not go over well with either the proprietors of the church or with many other religious figures throughout the land, as well as with the mainstream media that by now pretty much despises Trump. And of course, the feeling is mutual. But here we have ex-Senator Claire McCaskill on Nicole Wallace's MSNBC program talking about the issue.
Start Claire McCaskill with just as a former White House staffer, as someone who worked for a president, the president looked like a dope. The president stood in the Rose Garden, talked about standing for peaceful protesters while his own government was literally gassing them. And then he makes this moronic walk under heavy military protection and waves around a Bible as though it's something he has never seen or touched before. I mean, just talk about how small Donald Trump looks today.
You know, I am so sad and angry and full of emotion about what our country is going through right now. And the nerve of this man and the people around him thinking it was a good idea to use police on horses and tear gas and flashbangs to move a peaceful crowd so he could go out there and do something that is at its essence so phony. And what's most insulting about it, I think, Nicole, is that he actually thinks Americans believe that he is somehow a Christian. He's never read the Bible. He doesn't know what's in it. He hasn't been somebody who has attended church as president of the United States. He's never role modeled Christian behavior. He doesn't know the Beatitudes and the thing the Bible teaches about the least among us and that we care about them the most. And so for him to use this Bible, what I can't get is people around him who should have stopped him and said, this won't work. The people out there that you need to vote for you that aren't for you now, they're not going to buy what you're selling. You slept with a porn star when your wife had just had a baby, and you said in the campaign you'd never ask for forgiveness from God. Oh my Lord. Pardon me to use the words Nick and Finny right now, but I'm at a loss. I'm just at a loss.
You may wonder why Trump chooses this course of action given the tremendous opposition he faces from the mainstream media and, in fact, from the greater part of the country, the greater percentage, definitely more than 50. It's because this approach seems to be the kind of thing his base likes. They see religion as a matter of authority. They want a leader who will impose law and order. And in fact, one of them said he thought it was completely appropriate for the president to stand in front of the church, holding up the Bible, showing us that yes, God hates racism, but he also hates lawlessness. Now, the thing is, back to the astrology, this is a religion play. And Trump is becoming famous for what I call the 40-60 play. He keeps taking the 40% and somehow is trying to make this into a winning issue. Yes, he's going to make the 40% perhaps more rabid and more committed, but he's also making the 60% likewise. And given where the Neptune is at the moment, and when I say at the moment, I mean now in June, July, and from here forward, because once it's touched these degrees, it's not backing down. It's going to continue. It's going to continue to dog him. So I believe this to be a terrible play on his part. And I think it'll be a contributing factor to his total and complete unraveling during 2020.